Come on, XSplit, you can do it. You can do it. There you go. Greetings and welcome to Dr. and Die Presents Enter the Dungeon, session 48. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew, Adam, Ahmed, and Mark. How is everyone doing on this fine shelter-in-place Thursday evening? I had to think about that for a moment.
Nobody on Saturday yet.
All the days are kind of blending together for me.
I feel like a here's Johnny kind of guy.
Hey, Firefox.
Fox,
I just finished a really kind of pathetic version of a home workout with what weight I have to pretend like I'll...
Only 500 pounds!
No, not 500 pounds! We got 200.
Curling my car.
I'm pretty sure you can figure out like how much of a car you need to lift to get that weight.
So I've done a car deadlift before, so I have picked up half a car.
You don't have like moving straps and a washing machine. You could just fucking squat.
You know what? I
that,
actually
or...
have an old washing machine. Remember the washing machine?
I remember the
story?
story.
Yeah.
I still have that fucker over there, so I can actually just pick up the washing machine and run around with it. I also got some kegs. Like I have stuff.
There you go. Just get creative. That's all.
I got a 200-pound keg and a 150-pound keg.
Just don't run outside with it. You might get tased by the cops. He's stealing a washing machine. Why would anyone run with one of those unless?
Washing machine run. I'm waiting for the cops to tell me to stop running around in the field. I've actually been doing a lot of running. I've been enjoying it.
That's good. That's good.
Which is weird.
It means you're getting older. I'm not joking. It does. That's my honest to God. That's my point of view. Because I like walking the dog at this point. Like, oh,
Gets me out of the house.
My little iPod. Our little me and puppy time.
What are you listening to during your puppy walks?
As of late, I've been listening to Demon Watch.
Yeah. That's like
Which for those of you
self-promotion.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Demon Watch, it's a campaign Marty and Ahmed started while we were doing Legends, because at the time my schedule still screws everything up.
What the fuck am I?
There's an Adam in there as
there's
well.
an Adam in there as well.
I mean, he plays a tiny part.
Sure, yes. He only plays 2 of the 4 main characters. Anyway, it was a campaign I never played, and I never had a chance to watch it till recently. I'm like, I'll just catch up on this, because we're going to eventually pick up where you guys left off.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, I better get... but there's still like 22 episodes at like an average of 5 to 6 hours each. Just like it takes some time to get through that.
Demon Watch was started in response to your work giving you a fuck schedule.
Yeah, or
Right.
probably.
That might be a little bit harsh. A poop schedule.
Yeah.
No.
Where we're like, we want to keep on playing the main storyline, but you get
You
to a
don't want
certain
to
point of
stop
the
for
campaign.
3 weeks at a time when playing on Saturdays because,
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to recommend Demon Watch. It's on YouTube. Stream it. It's fucking awesome.
Mark's been carefully crafting these characters for months that he's going to play.
Months.
I'll get notifications in OneNote. I'm like, Mark's in there again, and I'll scroll through. I'm like, oh, he switched out a feet. And one character has so many archetypes. I'm like, you done some reading on this one, Mark.
Are we 8th level in that campaign?
No, I think like 6th or something, but...
actually, very easy to check. Hold on.
I believe we're 7th because I think Vince has his extra attack and he has a 1 level penalty, I think.
You are 6th level.
6th level? Okay, then I have the extra attack.
Maybe you guys were supposed to have leveled and didn't.
I can check at a future time when we get closer to it. But yeah, Mark has been expertly crafting these 2 characters, and these characters have been like moving around in like the next Mythic campaign we play. These 2 characters show up, so it's like Mark is really stoked about but these two characters, which is interesting.
They have dynamic and interesting builds, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think they would fit in with the. It's going to be two strong characters that are really good at their. One of them is going to be really good at their one thing.
And then spend other times going,
Right. And then I think Mark's other character is a little more versatile. I think he's a striker with versatility is the way I read that character. Okay.
He's a warrior.
Mulgrimir. It is a Mulgrimir build.
So my face
Similar to.
Are we going on a Mulgr quest again?
No, we are not.
Mulgrimir is a much. Didn't Mulgrimir end by going through a portal though? Isn't Mulgrimir out there somewhere?
I honestly.
Didn't he try to find Jack's Balder? Is that where we left off, Mulgrimir?
He might have.
I honestly don't remember. That is one campaign we could still mine for brilliant and wonderful characters.
Yeah,
like Seamus, fucking Ganzorig. I was telling the stream about Ganzorig the other day when I was showing them my Pathfinder Kingmaker characters. I'm like, Ganzorig's got a 10 charisma, but everyone fucking loves him.
Yeah, he's the best.
He was
what's going on over here, eh?
What's going on? Okay, alright, let's go do it.
Fox is suggesting that the last episode that we played didn't actually make it to YouTube.
Yeah, I am behind in my uploads.
No, the last episode of Demon Watch. The inevitable fight.
Maybe. It's possible.
What? Oh, man.
Mark, do you know about a fight against inevitables?
I know that there was an inevitable like centaur with wings in Saintsborough. You were supposed to fight. It was one of the guardians.
We didn't.
I don't think.
I
honestly
thought in my mind that I'm all caught up with that campaign and uploading, so I'm gonna make a note like Demon Watch to see if we're caught up.
Yeah, you're at episode 22.
Okay.
On YouTube.
All right.
I can't find that.
Adam, what have you been up to?
I have been chasing dogs around a park. I've been throwing kettlebells at the playground. I've been carrying my weights outside and pushing them overhead, and eating and sleeping. I've been eating like a king, which is I've been eating good. I've been cooking so much. My food is amazing these days. I might be a couple pounds heavier than I was 2 weeks ago. That might be a bit. We'll ignore that part.
Yep. Ahmed, what are you up to?
At work, I am so busy at work, it's blowing my mind. And kids are really bored. I'm the only one leaving out of the house, so I've got a pregnant wife and 2 kids, and they're all just... It's stressful.
So you're getting lots done, is what you're saying, while you work from home.
Yeah.
It's super chill, and you get lots done.
Papa, can you play with me? Yes, Mom. I'm too tired. Okay, give me a sec. Ahmed, where are you? I'm a second. Why don't you guys go for a walk in a crowded mall or something?
That's horrible. Oh, that's frustration that I'm talking there. Mark, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing right.
Yep.
Back to work tomorrow after a little bit of time off. But
okay.
still be it.
Let's generate tonight's adventure for 18th level characters.
I think 18th level.
Final boss encounter, CR21. Group party starts in favorable terrain. Fuck you, fungus.
Yeah.
The opponent has standard gear. None of this epic shit. We're in urban. Close enough. Starting distance is unknown. The opponent is traveling, so they're pacing around their little chamber down there. A societal skill check required. Is relevant to the adventure goal. Sounds perfect. Let's do this boss fight.
Yep.
There's a CR17 solo creature on the way, though. We'll kick his ass.
The CR23 solo creature to start out the night, my TPK. I think that means I rolled 100 on the table, because +5 I think is like 1 in 100 chance, so, yeah.
The party is on an even playing field. The opponent has standard gear. We're in a countryside. That sounds fun. Starting just as TBD.
The opponent is alert. Oh shit!
Oh, fuck. That's
Yeah.
Skill challenge, DC 10, check. Okay, we got this. I don't know what
The
that
skill
is.
challenger kind of like is there something that can help the encounter or something ancillary to the encounter that related to the encounter that you can do? This would be like, what is it? We know what you are.
What is the chance of being relevant to the adventure goal? Like 80%?
For the boss encounter, it's always relevant.
Okay.
And the rest of the time it's 50-50. Sometimes it's just a random encounter. Like it has nothing to do. Like if your goal of the adventure would be to guard the creature, and
this is a goddamn protection quest or whatever, an escort mission.
Yep.
Oh, escort mission.
Time constraint, critical, connection to the world building. It doesn't even have to do with the overarching plot of the campaign. It's just world building. It's like, hey, what are the things that live here?
So wait a sec. If our campaign, if this was a guard creature quest,
yeah.
Are we trying to guard Isolde? We're failing at that if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We might be trying to guard Alcur because I'm so.
Or trying to guard Malini. Yeah.
Malini would be the real one. And we basically put her in prison. She's just in there. She can't come out.
Yeah. And the area is like, what's the maximum area that the adventure will take place in? And then each of the encounters have locations within that area.
And there's random number generator for the number of encounters.
Yep. There's a random number of encounters. I think 9 is the max. 2 is the minimum.
And these have weightings, right?
So they have weightings. Yep.
It's not just a D10 being.
The boss encounters tend to be tougher than the other encounters.
Well, that's the first encounter that I missed.
So there are three curves. There's a flat curve, which kind of goes like this on the either end of the 100, like your D100. There is one that says greater than or equal to your level. So it starts off at your level and does a little thing at the end. And then it's boss encounter, which is minimum +3 your level, and then it goes 4 and 5. Like it kind of goes up from there. And I roll randomly for all the encounters between the first 2 tables, 50-50 basically. And then the boss encounter is most of the time a solo creature, but sometimes a random roll on the complement of creatures, so it tends to be solo creatures, but it could be a group, it could be... So this one's like a group. So you take CR21 and start to populate that into like 2 CR19 characters or 4 CR17s, and that would be the boss encounter. Yeah.
CR23 is a problem.
CR23 solo creature is a problem, yeah.
That's problem.
Yeah.
That's be great.
Yeah. One of the players in the other game went, Marty, you realize there are these things called video games, right? I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty fun right there. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. Thanks, lots of help from the stream as well. We've met a couple times on stream, and I've coded in my Russian Kermit the Frog voice, which is pretty funny.
I don't know how to do a Russian Kermit the Frog.
It's almost there in Russian. It's like Easter.
It is Kermit here.
Yeah.
Kermit. Well, there was I think the Muppets too, because I have kids, I watch this shit. Kermit the Frog goes to a Russian prison.
He goes to a gulag?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because this sounds like something from like SNL or Mad
It
TV
does.
or something.
He does, and there is I don't know if spoil it for anybody, but I don't think you'll watch it, but there is a Russian Kermit.
TPK encounter in Cambodia?
Like, yes,
Yeah,
I am
so
Kermit.
to show them, kind of walk through, we made a fun random command that generates a TPK encounter. But there's like 20 TPK encounters in there. One of the things we were thinking about incorporating boss tropes into the boss fight, like random boss tropes, like the talking bad guy, or the load-bearing boss, or the
load-bearing boss. That is one of my favorite video games when playing.
Yeah.
But when watching a video game, it drives me fucking mental.
Yeah.
When I'm playing, it's like, this is amazing, shit's exploding, oh my god. And if I'm sitting and watching, I'm like, why the fuck did the building just explode.
Magic! My evil keeps everything aloft and architecturally sound. It's fucking Lord of the Rings, dude. Why is the fucking tower collapsing?
In Lord of the Rings, there's like a reason. When Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks the guy in the head, why does the building explode?
Alternative ending to Lord of the Rings. If the hobbits were monks. The whole thing comes crashing down. See? It's D&D. It still works.
It works. It's all D&D.
Yeah,
It's
so
like Big Fat Greek Wedding about it. It's all Greek. It's all D&D.
Yeah. So that was the funny thing, but I think like Kenny helped spawn. We'll build that. I'm sure we just go to TV tropes and figure out what the boss tropes are.
I like the idea of having like little like quirks,
Yeah.
boss quirk or whatever you call it. And you can even do that to encounters. Just have a lower percentage chance of them having a quirk.
Yeah, the things that we're missing that are on the backlog is oh, one note's gonna crash. Complications, rewards, the encounter distance. Are there any non-combat solutions to the encounter? Like, are they willing to talk? A surrender flag, like, is this enemy willing to take surrender as an option?
They surrender or
No, like if you surrender to them,
Can the party surrender?
could the party surrender to them? You know, like that's.
So I would highly recommend that you got +5 CR creature have like a 75% chance of accepting surrender. For mortal players, you might want to do that.
I may have to flatten the CR curves a little bit for regular Pathfinder as opposed to our goddamn juice Pathfinder.
Nonsense.
Yeah. Our level 3. Our high level fucking Gestalt, high ability score characters that are probably 2 levels higher than actually like raw. Yeah.
They're on juice.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff that we can still do. And then after finishing the encounter part of the adventure generator, then it's the downtime part. How do you generate how much time you have between events that interrupt your downtime? And the events could be problems, opportunities, or hooks for new adventures. And like how do I like without bias decide how long a party has to rest and research and do their stuff?
To do this effectively, the first thing you need to do is give Ahmed riddling.
Nice. And then there's all sorts of rewards, and then each of these like very, very like generic terms could then turn into campaign specific tables and stuff. So it's endless. It is endless. But that was me practicing. I haven't coded in a long time, and technically JavaScript's coding, so technically.
Some people, not necessarily me, would argue that the script in JavaScript was just scripting.
Yeah.
Does it? If you're compiling, you're not compiling, are you?
No.
It's script. It's a script language, so
Yeah.
sure.
It's importing some stuff that might touch compiled code somewhere, like the connections to servers and
Yeah.
stuff like that might have at one point been been compiled and then is now sitting as some class that does a thing. But and I had to find like the solution, so I'm a solutionist scripter, is what it is.
I'm not saying I would say those sorts of things. I'm just
you are. If we want to get very technical, then yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mark is just glazed completely over. The amount of fucks to give is absolutely zero.
Yep. But Mark, this will live on the channel, and you could generate adventures for yourself, and you could play D&D by yourself.
well, I might be sucking at our game, but I'm winning in one way.
or for new DMs, it's like, how the fuck do I build an adventure? Here's an adventure. Go. You don't like something, ignore it. Replace it with something else. But here's a structure.
It's also a way that I think would be interesting for us to test, where we could try to make some quick adventures where Marty is actually on this side of the DM screen. We can all be on this side of the DM screen for.
I would love to fucking play. God damn it.
No, Marty, never again.
Never again. Oh, they've got me chained to this fucking chair. God damn it. All right.
When this current project gets through fucking design validation,
Nice.
I'll put some time.
I've got some
No.
characters. and we build a world, and I'll tell you what the plot should be.
Run this.
Run this. Okay. Funny. No, I have like the characters' backstories, which is kind of like one aspect to drive a plot, but that's basically D&D 101 kind of thing, character building 101. We did have fun as a stream building Volcanica. We did use some of the stuff, Mark, that you wrote. I'm gonna have to go through the file for Volcanica and like port over the stuff that still makes sense or move some things around. But
Okay.
I was very impressed at the detail that you went into. We got rid of dwarves. We put hobgoblins, Nagaji, kobolds.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good.
Just to make the place that much more awful.
It makes sense. You got a bunch of cold-blooded beings or near cold-blooded beings in the hot place with no scales. Kind of go well with the whole hot thing to me. It's
Yep.
thematically correct.
Yep.
And then you have fucking dinosaurs.
There is a big jungled area that,
Dinosaurs.
yeah, there are some dinosaurs, but not as many as say on Mensa, but yeah. Yeah. Here where dinosaurs are like the top beast, and Mensa's like they're the food. Anyways, let's do a recap of what happened last time. I think we're all very chatty because we've all been locked up in our houses.
Give me the game!
One note just keeps on fucking crashing. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Is it gonna make me buy OneNote, the app? Earlier version, maybe?
Windows has been having fun with their updates.
Stop being stupid! Okay, if anyone else can see I'm having a hard time getting into our OneNote file. It's session 47, the recap. I just finished typing it, but because I...
So
Give me a sec.
it loads your
Meadow logs.
logs.
Wow.
loading.
So,
Section 47.
Oh, got it. It's stable now. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, this one is called Think of the Children. Our last game is called Think of the Children. Episode 47 was the party travels to the water node to confront the spawn of Natanica and battles over the god-killer weapon. Ptolemy separates from the party to detach the final connection between the corrupted elemental nodes and the temple of elemental evil. A storm, a strange storm, rages across the face of Runerach. Afterwards, they poke around the interdicted chambers of Zuggtmoy and the entrance to the yawning chasm that leads into the depths of Runerach. Aberrant creatures come forth to attack the party. Alker scries upon Isolde and catches glimpse of her in the middle of childbirth. And I think we left the game there because it was nearing stupid o'clock, and you guys wanted to hatch a plan.
I didn't sleep. Period. I was cooked. I didn't plan nothing. We're going down a hole like a bunch of hooligans.
I think you guys put
We're
this
not about to be had.
hail of arrows snare in between two, like a can in between two walls of stone.
Yes, I utilized a lot of magical power to cork this thing off, and then we scribed using even more magical power to go.
And then we're like,
go down
I
the
wanna-
hole.
Right.
Mentarian's like, I want it through there now.
Yep.
Randomly, how's it going?
wow. Yeah, randomly.
All right. Why is this necessary?
You saw what we saw, didn't you? As children are being born. Not to an evil god or goddess or whatever. We need to get down there. I'm with you, Darian.
Thank you, Crusher.
Tokens. Oh, they're there. I found them.
Okay.
Oh, it's all good. I just wanted to-
Shadow's looking at his bag.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm with you. I got enough arrows.
You sure? You definitely used a lot of them against the Natonica eggs.
Oh, I got double that at least.
Karn is gonna hide from from Darian. You would have a girl, would you?
What? Oh, that's right up here.
The younglings. Well,
Do you know how far it is to get to them?
Oscar kind of like in his mind, he sort of shrugs or at least gets the idea. Whether or not Oscar's pushing against these thoughts, you're not. It's up to you, Adam. But the thought of like, well, makes sense. Children are a way of gaining leverage over your enemies. Like there's absolute no. For a brief moment, there's no
Emotion?
moral conundrum.
or
practical problem.
like how dare they kind of thing. It's like, no, it makes sense. Well, yeah, that's a
bad
thing.
guys, that was what I do.
That's a thing. Not even the bad guys. It's just that's a thing.
That's the thing.
That's just what
There's
you do.
there's no moral problem with it.
Yep.
It's not a moral problem. It's a practical problem.
I don't know if that's how Oscar would have thought before, but that thought did creep into his mind.
It's so before it was his morals aren't very fixed, but his rules were. So the structure of the rules would say, well, no, you don't no children, no women, no kids. Would be there'd be one of those sorts of rules where you can murder whoever you want, just no women, no kids. Why? Because no women, no kids. It's just
It's part of the rules.
it's the rule.
You know, stupid.
And because it's an Adams character, no dogs. Unless they really deserve it. Unless they really
Unless
did a
they're
bad dog.
really
bad
exceptions.
dog.
Bad dog. Well, it's just like you don't eat people. It's a rule. You don't eat people.
It
Depends how hungry you get.
No matter how well seasoned or how good it smells, you don't eat them.
with the presence of the artifact and your uses, your rules are quickly sort of evaporating, like unhinging from their tight matrix of consequence and implications and.
The only things that keeps the character sane is falling apart, you say?
Yes, well, we all saw it. Maybe she just has some bad gas system. He takes a step back from there.
It's not funny, Ptolemy. We have to move. What do we do? Who set up the trap?
No, we don't need the trap. We saw where it is. I can teleport us there, but we'll be far away. But if I teleport again, we will close the distance, and by a third time, we should be in the general vicinity.
Well, do we... How far away do we think it is?
Well, how big is Runerach?
Large. Let's... Runerach is,
Survival?
You have a map somewhere.
Runerach grids.
Runerach grids. I'll curve the black.
Alright, let's do some math. I think this was a 10-day journey by foot to go from Bone Sparrow Manor or the Sanitarium to Hamlet.
Sanitarium.
Yeah. So 10 days at 30 miles a day. These are 300 square
So she's
grids.
750 miles away.
That's within range, I think.
That's within range of the 7th circle teleport.
How many people?
Whatever.
No, we jump in the hole.
No.
Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teleports. Now, I don't want to use all 9 teleports because I have... He flickers that weird color again, and one of his eyes stays gold, but the other eye stays his normal color. Other spells I would like to cast.
yeah. Good. That's what I like to see.
So if I teleport the first time, we'll be how far off? Assuming she's at the center of Runerach, like the exact center.
You would be approximately 75 miles from your destination.
Oh, it's very handy having a mathologian here with us. Numerology is a very important science.
Depending on the location, it could be upwards of 80.
Ptolemy just, apparently in his mind, it's like all number things are equal and, you know, he's more of an occultist than anything else. Like,
so we're gonna futz around the cord of
So-
plane
80, and then I teleport again, and it would be...
less than a mile.
And then what happens if I teleport it again? A third time?
Several hundred feet.
That sounds pretty close.
That was greater.
Yeah. That's running.
Tommy's like peeking over Shadow's shoulder and sort of like looking at Darren going, eh?
Then let's do it.
Darren's got the answer out. He's ready to go right now.
All right.
How many can you teleport at a time? Or do we need to use the whole?
Oh, we need to use the hole.
Shit.
Yes. Yes, if you're pooping the hole, you have to clean it up.
Can another character, perhaps with more patience or less of a dog in the fight, suggest maybe we wait 10 minutes to refocus?
I require a moment to focus.
There we go.
Yes.
Alright, fine.
Put your hero points down, guys.
Alkira is going to focus because she's going to meditate on the babies.
Darren's going to focus as well. He's going to pray. Well, he's going to pray.
All right, well, these chuckleheads are praying.
Oscar can hear down below something going ding, ding, ding. Not against the stone here, probably on the stone underneath.
It's Adam, lifting weight. Sorry.
Like something maybe scratching at the gate. Like there may have been more of those skittering, horrible barb creatures that are down there.
So
That was as a DM, such a pleasing encounter, even though they were like 6 levels lower than you. Like that was a
they're
really...
so scary.
Why are they knitting a sweater?
No, when you guys were all being dragged to the hole, it was like, oh fuck! It was just a really great.
Well, especially with that hole could be 70 miles, 700 miles deep.
We have no idea.
So
Lined with spikes and poison.
Oscar's, while these people are focusing, he's gonna sneak away and go through this wall and, loot this room a little bit more thoroughly than last time.
This room. Give me a second.
We left a lot of stuff in here before. I remember being one of the retirement rooms.
348. The only use for this module now is the dressing.
Give me your dressing.
I like ranch.
The stone walls are a deep purple color. All the furnishings are similar hue, mauve carpet, a lilac and puce wall hangings. Even the long table with the 12 chairs and a large one at the head are lacquered violet. Bronze candelabra on the table. Bronze wall sconces are placed at regular intervals. The place is probably a council chamber. This is where you got the map.
Yep.
There are some, it looks like when you kind of took the map, there are some, amethyst and jade like chess pieces that might have been used not for the original purpose, but for like markers on the map or like maybe armies or something like that. But they were all kind of scattered, like they didn't make any sense. Those might have some value. There was an assortment of weapons in a small room to the east.
Oscar knows what he wants to go get. He is going to sneak. He's basically so. He's going to try to squeeze through this wall here.
Pointing where?
Sorry, to the east.
Yep.
Scooch through that wall. To go up a layer.
Okay, you find that this wall is difficult to scooch through. Like, you're running up against the barrier, and you're having a hard time even approaching this door.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to the club, bitch.
Have I done the bad thing? Interesting.
Give me a will save.
So, okay.
It was covered in fungus.
This goes.
Nope.
Whee! Second, I rolled a 5. I add 1 plus my will save bonus. So 35.
Okay. You, for a brief moment, you had like a feeling like you just didn't want to go there.
Okay, and I have something called Slippery Mind, which I think makes it, if it's a success, it's a greater success.
Okay.
I think.
You now understand that the door is trying to keep you from leaving.
Okay, he's going to spend the rest of the 10 minutes trying to see if any of these walls are less than 10 foot thick to get to the rest of the building. He's looking for a gap that's less than 10 feet thick to squeeze through. He's mapping it out, basically. I don't know if there is any. I think it's all a little bit more than 10 feet. The only one that might be is here.
Yeah, and this hallway, I believe, has a door at the top of the stairs, so this area is hedged. Let me see here. Is that 10?
When you use your little measuring tool, it says 10, but if you measure from there, it's 15. Depends on where you put the 0.
Yeah, there's at least it's somewhere between 10 and 15, and then that might be 10, but that leads you back into the same area. So yeah, this place accidentally from way back in 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons actually
hedged you
in. Yep. So Oscar spends some time while the party is resting.
While they're doing that, he's trying to find a way to go do stuff.
You know that you could command the
Chair up and
chair to come back down.
And they'll know that I was collecting the corpses of my fellows and putting them in the pit, because it would be funny for them to find the dead bodies in the pit from their past lives.
This is where we find out Oscar's just been fucking with us this entire time, and he's behind it all.
Just collected Ptolemy's body, collected Crusher's body.
Alright, so Oscar does a quick reconnoiter and can't quite find a way. He stops and he's thinking about, well, the chair's up there, it's blocking the way. Maybe there's a way if he climbs up the shaft. Maybe there's a gap along the way as you go up.
Yeah, we'll take it for a test climb.
Okay, give me a climb check. This is probably really smooth dungeon wall. Give me a second here. Let's say this is an appropriate. The DC is 28.
Okay. I roll a natural 1. There's the bang sound.
It's that first thing. It's like, how do I climb along the roof to get up there unless I want to activate a magic item?
I do. How much time do I have left?
After you did your quick reconnoiter, we'll say 1d10 minus. Okay, you've got 1 minute left.
Alright, we're not going to activate Airwalk from the skull, but we don't have enough time. Because we're going to be like, we're going to make our way back, and I don't know what you're talking about. I was here the whole time. Go fuck yourself.
Tommy's sitting down and he's just trying not to touch any of the mushrooms. Alkira is praying to the Heart of Gold. Darian praying to the Five-Faced God.
Krieger's looking at his twisting hammer, thinking, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to give this back now."
Every once in a while, the hammerhead kind of like starts to turn on its own and then flips to the other side, and like things move around, and it's like there's this weird barbed wire near the hammerheads affixed to the rest of the shaft, and it's weird. You can feel its power though. How much twisting damage has Krieger?
So much.
So much.
I think he's got 8 wound levels.
Okay. In the quiet moments while you were waiting, you can actually feel the chaotic energies that are in.
Yeah, no, he's got 8 violent wounds, 1 round of lethal attacks, and 3 rounds of non-lethal attacks. He may as well have been licking the sword.
You can feel really violent and chaotic energies inside of this thing, and the wounds that you suffered that were from a twisting source are kind of like itching and aching a little bit while you're holding your hammer.
Okay.
Like you can feel a connection between.
Can he? I don't know how to describe it. He wants to try to almost like manipulate that wound or scar while holding the sword or hammer, if that's the point.
Okay. Give me
Devising your
You mean like poke
Yes.
the wound with the sword?
Oh, he's gonna grow another arm. Go! Oh crap! That was a mistake.
He's trying to hide
you
it.
wish it's grow another arm.
Could grow an extra testicle.
I don't know if you guys have ever. I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but a long time ago when there was VCRs, there was a board game that had a video with it, where there's somebody's face that slowly becomes evil. It's like a witch that slowly becomes like it's greener hair, darker. That's what Adam's character reminds me of. Oscar slowly turning like a wart in his forehead or shit. Like
Okay. What skill are you trying to use?
Oh, we're gonna go with barbarians are so skilled. I'm guessing nature.
Okay.
Yep, I'll go with nature.
Give me a nature check.
It's just evolution, baby.
44.
All right. You notice these wounds are different because they scarred over weird, and like the hair grew back really strange, and some of the wounds are still kind of like not the right color.
Okay.
You press the you concentrate on the hammer and you kind of like put it near the wound, and you manage to absorb the chaos from the wound into the hammer.
We don't need a sword anymore.
The 3 rounds of non-lethal attacks, and 1 of your violent wounds is gone.
Cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
This took a while of meditating and just sort of resting against it, but Krieger now knows that Isolde's sword contains the twisting.
Yes.
It definitely reacted to it when you kind of pulled that energy out. It kind of like the hammerhead turned into a bunch of blades and spun around, and you had to concentrate on it again to like keep it as a hammer. You could feel the presence of this really, really ancient hate, kind of buried at the center of the weapon.
If you do it right, you could have a murder god and a strength god's power in you.
Yeah. That's what we want. Krieger is the murder strength god. If you're not killing people by choking them with your bare hands, you're a failure.
All right, everyone seems to finish their refocusing.
What have I been waiting around for? Let's get going.
Yes,
Hey.
who's getting into the hole?
Well, I'll get in the hole, but I got a question first. Now that you're done your thing there, is it Alcur or who you got out? I'm
It's
sorry.
Kira right now.
Hey, Alcur, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, Zuggtmoy is like a fungus thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what happens if like she gets exposed to the twisting? Would that be good or bad?
Twisting is something of chaos. She is a being of chaos. She could do almost anything.
Yeah, but chaos can sometimes hurt chaos. Like me and my brother used to get in groin kicking fights. It goes crazy, but everybody ends up crying.
Groin kicking fights.
Yeah, you hold each other by the shoulders like this, and then you try and kick each other in the nuts till one of you gives up.
You can forget about him leading the new generation.
It's a toughness exercise. You can try it.
I believe the new Dana seed does not require one's groin to be functional.
All right. So what you're saying is, though, don't try and, because I can like kind of do stuff with the sword with this thing now. So.
What can you do with the sword?
Oh, I got rid of some of my those twisting scars I got.
Let me see.
He shows you like, yeah. See, I was scratching my back like this, and the scabs came off, and they went into the shaft of the hammer.
Do you know how to put them back?
Probably doing the opposite. I think I can do it though.
Doesn't seem very complex.
No, it doesn't.
It's more complex than you think, because I've scratched my back with this several times.
If we need to use 3 teleports to get within combative range, that will be more than 30 minutes simply in casting. With the additional actions taken to both go in and go out of said pocket dimension, you're looking at another 35. Before we get there, an hour will have passed from vision.
Yes.
Are you okay with this, Paladin?
If it's
Knowledge,
the fastest way there, then it's the fastest way there.
Well, I'm assuming the
Then you
fastest
should get
way.
in the hole.
So knowledge, nature, shadow, 35.
If it takes so a long time to give birth.
How long would it take if we jumped down there? Like it felt like a stone, not like a feather.
If we fell like a stone, it would take... This is now Adam doing 75,000 miles, using gravity. we're talking like.
It's not 75,000 miles.
Sorry, it's 750 miles.
Yeah.
750 miles of gravity is got to be like a 10-minute fall. Like it's ridiculous. Give me a second.
You have time to get bored before you hit the ground. Ah, right.
So,
What a breath.
terminal
we're
velocity of a human. What is the terminal velocity of a human? I thought it was something like 200 miles an hour. It's 200 miles an hour. They can go up to 200 miles an hour. It's typically 120 miles an hour. Okay, so you're going 120 miles an hour. You're going to be going 750 miles. It is a 5-hour fall. A 5-hour fall.
Is like Featherfall a thing still?
I think so.
It doesn't last for 5 hours.
You'd be casted at the end.
If you're awake. Ptolemy, wake up.
So if you pull the dive position, it's 200 miles per hour. That is a 3-hour dive. It's a 3-hour dive. Competition speed skydivers could do it in just under an hour. So if you do like
fly checks.
For 3 hours.
Well, it's 3 hours of going down a thing with mushrooms on the side. Don't hit the side, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Crusher would probably be
It
the
would take
easiest one to do
longer to
that.
fall that distance. If it is as far away as we think it is, it will take hours to fall into position unless something has altered the density of the air within the shaft.
So you're saying teleport's still the fastest way?
Yes, good thing we have a Mathmegeist on our side.
Why don't you start casting?
Why don't you get in the hole?
Because it's going to take him 10 minutes. Give us a second.
Who's going in the hole? I can only have 4 on the outside. Darian, you could be on the outside this time. Because who the hell who in the Abyss knows where we're going to encounter down
I'll
there.
stay on the outside as well.
Remember, she is trying to reproduce the abyss in the core of this place.
Yes, and aberrations live down there. Spooky ones.
Natural.
Yes.
They are natural. says the dude who turns it.
You're just freaking me out.
Oscar will go over to the corner and open up the pit.
I think it's fair to say this party would bias your average martial character against spellcasters. Spellcasters are all fucking weird.
Yeah.
Every last one.
Well, you have to make up for it with your lack of power, so you have to do something to stand out.
Alright, who's getting in the hole? I'm casting now.
Krieger gets in the hole.
Okay.
Shadow will pop in.
Okay.
Do you guys want Crusher to jump in? He can. It's tank.
It doesn't look like Oscar is hopping in. It looks like he's like holding the edge of the hole.
How many can stay out of the hole?
4 people aside from Ptolemy.
Aside from Ptolemy. So we've got...
So it could just be the 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually Shadow and Krieger can hold their breath.
Yeah, they both got. I think they both got that feat where it's like, yeah, we're fine. Don't worry.
How long can you hold your breath?
25 times longer than normal.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's not like 2 or 3. 25.
Yeah,
You have a tank.
You're just waiting for them to die and then to take them out afterwards. If you come our nasty
We're back, motherfucker.
You're like, hey, that was longer than 10 minutes. Oh, fuck, they're still alive down there. Men alive down. Okay. Ptolemy finishes his spell. The hole was closed, and you guys disappear, and I need to open an entirely new campaign map.
Ooh.
But
Dungeon.
first, I'm going to copy past these guys.
Going dungeon into dungeon.
I'm going to save Seems good.
Oh, you're gonna grab my dudes? Take my dudes.
Oh,
I,
did I not?
Take my dudes.
while looking for Demon Watch, I looked through Legends. Holy shit. I can't remember my character, man. There's fucking 50 pages of spells. What the fuck?
Oh, and they're all hot links, so if you click on anything in the page, it opens up a goddamn window.
What the fuck was I thinking?
You did that to yourself, sir. You did that to yourself.
Oh, the feats! Oh my god! Okay, sorry. I just it blew my fucking mind.
We're on the red square.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Gear Warren, it's 2 pages long.
What the... I feel like we're about to have a battle in a Sesame Street educational video. Or,
Oh. Oh no.
Okay, so when you appear, it is a very strange place. The first thing that hits you is the fetid heat, then the smell of like rotting loam and just spore. It is heavy in the air. And then there's also a taste that immediately is attacking the back of your tongue, which smells like you licked rusty iron.
okay.
It sounds like.
You look up and you can see this veritable horizontal forest of these yellow mushrooms going up almost as far as you could see. And you're at the bottom of the gigantic shaft that likely leads all the way to the Temple of Elemental Evil. Some way, oh, your ears just popped. Some distance. Like all of your ears are all fucked up because you just there is a pressure here and this it's like tropical heat, like 40 degrees Celsius and like almost an impossible amount of humidity.
Are we deep enough into the core of the realm that this counts as outdoors again?
This is
Or,
outdoors.
like weather, like where you could cast weather spells and things?
Yeah, I'd let this be outdoors. This is a gigantic cavern. For a moment, as you fish people, actually, are you keeping people in the bag? Like, what are you doing? Are you opening up the hole or and starting to casting again?
Let us breathe. It's going to take you 10 minutes to...
I guess we'll do it again.
Okay,
Big
so Oscar opens up the hole, and you know Krieger and Shadow are looking down at Oscar.
I wouldn't leave you in there.
But if you did, it would just take a short
Actually,
while. It would just take a short while before they run out of breath, and then you'd get to sell all of their gear. So the second any of them start being really, really problematic, you should probably arrange for the problematic ones to all go in at the same time, because that would be a really efficient way of getting rid of them.
I think it's worth noting at this point, I don't think you've seen either Shadow or myself use that breath feat, so...
Surprise, bitch!
We don't go much away from
Darian, immediately, the smell on top of this is, you can't tell whether it's one thing or if it's 100 things. But upon the spores and the bad fumes of this place is evil.
He expected a smell.
There is a different smell, a glittering smell.
Glittering?
Kind of glance over your shoulder. whiff of Oscar.
Okay.
It was just a hint, like just a cologne-ish sort of like, huh, Oscar is here.
A dwarvish musk.
But it was that kind of smell.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see Oscar like just chatting idly with Krieger and Shadow while Ptolemy starting to cast his spell. You don't have much time to think about it though, as you could see some of the mushrooms kind of like rustling like trees, and the rustling's kind of getting closer to where you guys are. We'll say you have 1d3 rounds to prepare. 3 rounds to prepare.
Okay. Ooh. Darian is going to cast Bless.
Whenever you're around Alcur the White, you are blessed. I feel like he has an aura of bless.
Oh, nice.
So
Very
for
nice.
Darian, who wears the mask all the time, he's just always blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Alcur is awesome.
What's the range of the bless?
I guess it's
Alcur's is 10 feet and his is 5 feet unless he starts to expand.
Yours is
he'll-
automatically on?
Yeah.
Cool, I did not know that.
That's one of the powers. Okay, so there is sound of stuff happening in the bushes.
Yep.
In the fungal bush.
Everyone's aware. It's not just Darian.
Yeah, it's like lots of little things are coming, and you can see that the ground around you is starting to move because there are fungal growths that are quite large that stretch out along the bottom, and you can see little toadstools about the size of halflings all the way up to the size of ogres. Starting to move, like some of the toadstools and mushrooms in this place are actually animate.
So there's this fungus in the air.
Yep.
I would like to cast Stormlord and create heavy-ass rain to try to knock the fungus out, and then I'll alternate it with wind and rain and nastiness within a 100-foot radius.
Okay, how long does that take to cast?
One action, 2 actions.
So there's a crackle of lightning in the and the sound of thunder.
This is why I asked if this counts.
Yeah, in this big cavern, and then it starts to rain. It is covering the scent a little bit, and it's hitting some weird pools and causing spores to go off, and then the rain is collecting some of the spores, and now everything's just damp. It's covering the approach of the creatures somewhat, but there are so many of them that that this may not be an issue. At the end of the first round, Shadow, what are you doing? Crusher? Ptolemy's casting his
Crusher's... Go ahead.
Ptolemy's casting his teleport. Like he's in the middle of his teleport.
It's protect the Ptolemy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember the guard part of the adventure?
Yep. We're guarding the Ptolemy.
Yeah. CR-23 still the creature's on its way.
Okay. Crush... You guys are going above?
It's an enormous centipede that's coming through.
You guys are going... So Crusher can... Crushers can jump up to jump above. Crusher can do this, boop, and head off anything that's coming towards you guys.
So Crusher is charging towards the noise.
Okay.
But there's stuff around as well, so you need to surround Ptolemy.
Yep. So you're grabbing all of these rubbery and quite strong mushrooms. They've got a nice like rubbery sort of flexibility to them, so you could almost like use them to climb.
I just jump.
Yeah, you grab a hold of the side, and they don't seem to be poisonous or inflict any damage on you.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like enemies coming up from like all sides, right?
Yep. At the end of this round, I'll show you what they are. So you got,
I need your help down here, stupid beast!
You got these little toadstool things. And they're small, but there are Maybe.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
Let me know when we see them.
Yeah, you see them.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a haste spell moment.
Well.
And then you can see mixed into that group are
2 CR 22.
nope, some man-sized ones.
He's got a keyhole for a belly button.
And then you can see skittering down.
No, no more of those things.
I will fuck up your spell.
Ah, those things again.
Skittering.
I'll deal with them. You deal with the things on the ground.
The
The
skittering.
grabby,
The skittering Gogathas, yeah.
I call them the grabby grannies of the abyss.
Sorry, I'm gonna knit you into a sweater.
And they don't care what you call them.
Take care.
They are large.
In charge.
And for some reason,
Oh my god.
2d4 of them. There are 6 of them. There's a really weird thing that looks like one of the skittering Gogatas grew mushrooms around itself, like a crab, like a crab-like shell, and it is not skittering; it is stomping towards you.
Okay.
They're everywhere. Look at the thing. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's got the Gauss rifles on the side of the funnel thing.
Its little barbs are like coming, like shooting out of its like little tubes and sort of grabbing, and it's really big and stompy, and we'll call it a stomping Gogatha.
It would be useful if I had wall spells right now.
Tommy just nods as he continues to chant the teleport. There's a look on his face like he's going as fast as he can. And let's see how many minutes he's into his teleport.
No.
He's 3 minutes into his teleport. He's got 7 minutes of chanting left.
Don't
Okay.
worry. We got this. We got this by the 8.
No, he can just abandon his teleport and lose the spell if he wanted.
Couldn't you start casting in the lab and then walk out in the last minute?
No.
Can't walk, huh? Too bad.
Well,
Start pulling back on his bow.
Tommy cocks it off to the side like you're distracting him slightly. That might be a bad thing. Alright, initiative I think is needed. So we've got the skittering Gogata and the stomping Gogata, which might be some sort of evolutionary jump for the Gogatas. And then we've got fungus people.
So, is anybody interested in actually, like, the new fungal plains growth that kind of wants to, like... Anybody else feel a little bit bad about destroying this plane before it even sort of gets going?
This new ecosystem before it has a chance to flourish?
Because it's like rapid, like, evolution of beings and stuff.
Nope. Some shit shouldn't exist.
I don't think Ahmed eats mushrooms.
I do with great anger.
Fuck you, fungus! Oh, that's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna make you guys hate fungus if you don't already.
I wanna go first.
Get So Shadow. Shadow has to go fucking soon.
Yeah, so you guys see these things coming. I told you you had 3 rounds to prepare, so you cast spells, and then second round, you can see them coming. They're not directly there, they're closing in.
Okay, are they clustered at all?
Yeah, they're clustered in these mobs.
Alright, so I'd like to meteor swarm them.
Holy shit, this is round 2, you're like, fuck with preparations!
Not that noise!
Okay, what is the area of the meteor swarm?
I have 2 40-foot bursts. Alright, sorry, 4 40-foot bursts.
I'll be right back.
So, group 1, group 2, and then the north 2 groups. So there's a 10-foot radius burst inside the 40-foot radius burst that's important as well. But it's basically, yeah, it's basically, we're not just get the, and then we'll probably get that last one will go on to big lumbering Gogeta asshole.
This big
Stompy butthole. We're smack that one around.
Okay.
Just fuck this. I don't like this.
This will be solved. This is Alcarn or Alkira?
This is Alkira.
Okay, she's like, nature! And she's making this horrible storm. It's raining, and now fiery meteors are coming out of nowhere to explode amongst the innocent mushroom creatures that have come to
There are no
grieve.
innocent mushroom creatures.
They have an ill-favored look to them, and they got quite hostile to your presence. Now it is just exploding mushrooms. It is part of the landscape as well as the creatures that start to be ripped apart by these fiery meteors. We're gonna have to roll damage for some of them because I don't think it kills all of them automatically.
Shadow just looks at you.
How fucking long could you do that spell for?
He's about to hit you with his bow. Fucking how long can you?
As the meteors strike through the fungal mass, you can hear them hitting the ground, and the ground looks like underneath all this stuff, looks like it's a layer of like heavy rust, and then the dark Runerach iron. Like the structure of Runerach itself is a big iron cube that just happens to have terrain on top of it.
We're like within some sort of latticework core inside,
Yep.
where a bunch of like beams.
And this stuff seems to have just eaten away at the inside of Runerach and created this fine iron rust that is now being spewed into the air. Okay, damage.
Boom. All right. So the bludgeoning damage, which is the 10-foot radius burst, is 43 damage with a basic reflex save. And the 40-foot radius burst is another 59 damage.
Okay.
Reflex save.
You have destroyed all the mushroom creatures. Even if they make their saves. I'd have to roll two 20s, or yeah, 20.
It's one save for both damages.
Nah, you destroy.
I would use my non-circle spell to make this problem go away. I want the problem not here anymore.
All right, let's go to the skittering Gogetas. They have some hit points.
Oh yeah, we're just softening them up.
All right,
were they large before? Or are these
they were large. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Are they?
They're way down right now. There we go. Yes.
Yes, and the stomping Gogeta is huge. It's like maybe it might be the mama or one that found fungus to grow around it or something. It's really icky. Okay, two of them are in the blast radius, the immediate impact site of your meteor storm, and their reflex saves are 39 and 35.
Sorry, the 35 is a fail for sure. 39 is a exactly make it. So 39 takes half, 35 takes all of it.
Okay, and then do they make a second save to the fire, or is it?
It's just one save.
It's just one
One
save.
for both. Yep.
Okay. So this is 102.
It is
Versus 51.
102. Yeah.
And then the ones on the outside, there are 3 of them that are just getting the fire. 4 of them that are getting the fire. No, 3? 3. 39, 38, 38.
Okay, so 39 takes half, 38s take all.
Okay. Wow, those are good saves. Good rolls.
Yeah.
Of the fire, it was 59, so 29.
And 59. Oh, I've cleaned up all the little guys. That means that the warriors can go each challenge one of the big things. Get to sit in the corner throwing lightning bolts.
And then the stomping Gogata has a 24 reflex save. It gets a 34. It failed, so it takes 102.
Yep. And none of the fungus things have a problem with fire, it sounds like.
Nope, these are all being ripped apart by your cleansing flames.
Is anything within 100 feet of me? Like, is this map to scale right now?
No, they've got one more round of
They're
moving
approaching.
in. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. That's fine. Let me know when they're within 100 feet.
They will be in their locations at the end of the 3rd round. So that was the 2nd round. 3rd round, preparing.
Oh, Krieger's just gonna make sure his weapons in a hammer form with holy and anarchic energy going through it.
Okay.
Yeah, Shadow can start ripping this thing apart. The big thing
Yeah.
at the bar.
Yeah, the big thing at the end of the 2nd round, give me a second, is 120 feet from its location right now. So it's
Shadow can pray it and start.
okay. It's lumbering in quickly. Its little tendrils and prongs are licking out of weird tubes, and they seem to be looking out of different tubes each time. And
Big stupid fungus.
it's stomping towards you, coming at you, kind of like the size of an elephant.
It is not going to make it. All right.
Explosions ripping around it. A bunch of its fungus is on fire. It's screeching.
I got this. Catch, big boy.
Okay. Plus 38. Hey, is it Bless going?
Yes.
39. So 47.
You're not, unless, if Darian expanded his bless, otherwise you're too far away.
Yeah, he's
Actually,
just,
no, you're beside Alcur.
Yeah, I'm beside Alcur, yeah. So 47 on the first hit.
Critical hit.
It needs a thing to so now it's flat-footed for me. 50.
Critical hit.
Shadow's just a killer.
53.
Crazy.
Critical hit.
36.
That
Not one.
one is a miss.
All right, that's 3 crits.
It is resistant to poison.
Okay, dokie. So
Oh,
68
no.
becomes 18d8. That's the first round, by the way. Or with the second round, Plus 46 becomes 12d6. Plus 18, 54. Yeah. Oh my god, 199.
Alright, this thing had 300 hit points, and it already had 102 damage, so you kill it. Between the meteor swarm and your hail of arrows.
Bunch of fucking pansies.
All right, so we'll just wait for Shadow to kill the rest of the things coming up the hill.
Toby's
Yeah, I know,
not
that
doing
was-
it, he says.
that was only
Casting a
one.
spell.
That was only one. There's a whole bunch of those ones.
And then, so that's the end of the second round. Round 3, the creatures are where, like relative to you on the map, they are now 100 feet away from you, Occur, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all 100 feet.
I'm going to use a single action to throw a lightning bolt at one.
Which one?
Storm. We'll pick the one. This one right there, number 4.
Okay. You make attack roll, or is it a reflex save?
It's a reflex save.
It fails. 31.
31. Okay, so it takes 34 electricity damage.
8.
And
3. It is not bloodied yet.
Give me a second. I don't want to waste my spells, but that is 10-minute duration, up to 5 creatures. I will cast Nature's Enmity on them.
On the 6 of them?
5. I can't get 6.
Okay, and then what do they have to roll?
They don't have to roll anything. In the region, as long as they remain within a 5-foot radius burst of where they are, vegetation springs up and gives them a -10 circumstance penalty to their move speed. All aggressive animals attack them on their turn, or aggressive animals attack unpredictably on the start of each of their turns. They roll a flat check versus just being attacked by nature, and they lose any connection to nature or natural creatures unless it casts a flat check. This includes animals and plants become hostile, companion bond, or potentially spellcasting. Don't mess with druids.
No, druids are awesome.
So this lasts for 10 minutes. This is the get out of my nature spell.
So things will start to attack them if like natural creatures appear.
At the start of each turn, the target rolls a flat check. On a failure, it's attacked by a swarm of creatures that deal damage.
Oh, okay. So you can see all sorts of bugs and like hostile spores going off and weird like 6-legged like sturges and things like landing on them, and they're all freaking out.
I just picture this used in a traditional campaign where there's some knight and it's like fucking squirrels.
Yeah, it's by forest get out spell.
There's nothing fuzzy or squirrel-like down here. The only fuzz is coming from like strange
Fungi.
Yep. So the stomping Gogota and the fungi petitioners. Yes, I'm using that word. Don't get initiative because they're destroyed, although there might be more of them, as you can hear like the sounds of the storm and your spells and
we're making a mess.
Yeah, you might be attracting like the next sort of like colonies of things, and I'm going to sort the initiative.
If you don't kill all the colonies of things, then the Beardo won't be able to make the magic.
Bullshit. The initiatives are Oscar, Krieger, Darren, Shadow, Bonecrusher, Ptolemy, Alker, Skittering, Gogota. They go last. Okay. Oscar, what are you doing?
Well, looks like they're having a bit of a problem.
Yeah, this horrible realm is turning against them.
We probably won't show off flame strike and power of the skull because the paladin's right there. Might be upset. Oscar's going to basically stay relatively close. He's just going to plunk a hide.
Okay, hiding under one of these mushrooms.
Yep.
You can see these angry bugs coming out, but not going anywhere near you. They're streaming out towards the Gogota. Krieger.
Okay, that thing's dead.
You can hop along the top of these things if you wanted to get up there.
Can he climb?
Yeah, you can climb up them too, yeah.
Okay, because he's got a climb speed. Which means he can... Can he climb in a straight line, so to speak?
Yeah, why not?
Alright then. We'll rage, sudden charge that guy.
Okay, it's going to use one of its powers to skitter away from you. They have got climb speeds too, and it uses its skittering reposition to move away from you
It's got a 10-foot circumstance penalty to its speed.
Oh.
I don't know what that does to that power.
Its speed is 10 feet. It can't. Because there's too many bugs, like these huge. Are those ants? No, they're kind of acting like ants, but they're like little moving fungus tendril things, and it's weird. The thing is screeching. The thing does not like whatever is happening to it right now.
Okay.
You got pounded on the head by a flaming thing, and it's now raining, and it's not supposed to be raining down here, at least not like that, and then it's being eaten alive. And then Krieger goes up and smacks it with this horrible hammer, critical threat. Or critical hit, sorry. Wrong system.
Critical hit? Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so rough. Look at the other character sheets. Going back is going to be a problem.
I built six third, fourth level characters in the last week. A lot of fun, but it's like...
Some review was required.
Yep.
And plus 50.
What's the feat after power attacking?
120 damage.
120 damage. Injures it badly at 222 damage. It's not dead, though. Darian?
Darian. He's gonna fly. Yes.
Free to skitter.
Yeah, this one on the edge, yeah. Okay.
Shit, Darian, what's his bonus to hit at this point?
That being the slight green aura around them. Yeah.
Plus 32 with plus.
Darian comes swooping in.
AC 38.
AC 38 is a hit.
And he's two-handed. Plus.
As you're flying up, you kind of ride the Answerer through the bottom part of its head. One of its heads.
39 damage.
39, it is destroyed. And then kind of comes raining down and it splats next to over the party, including Ptolemy. It's a tumbled mess. Shadow.
Oh boy.
Just pick one and start pegging it off.
Yeah, I want to kill something that's... They had how many? 200 hit points?
Over, yeah.
Okay, I'll want you guys focusing on the stuff on the right. I'll try to focus on the stuff on the left.
Sure.
I'll ping the... This one, number 2.
Number 2.
Try to kill it. So I'll ping this and this as my prey.
Okay. Shadow hones in, he sees the thing kind of like coming down, you're like, yeah, just peek your stupid heads over the lip there. Arrows start to unleash.
1d20 plus 39.
Critical hit. The critical hit, the crit system is really, it makes the, we shouldn't be fighting these things, they're too low level, Marty, critical hit.
It happens both ways, though.
Yeah, it
When
makes,
you're fighting the thing and it's like,
yeah,
critical hit, critical hit, critical hit, and you don't hit over 19, you don't hit?
Right.
Oh, no.
This might be the warm-up fight tonight, for tonight.
176 damage.
I believe these are called feel good fights. That means that something really bad can happen.
Yes.
to the next
Yeah,
fight, but we're not allowed to
176, 177 plus 50 is 127, or 227, it is still alive.
Oh shit, it's stuck though.
Oh yeah, critical, yeah. It is stuck to some of the mushrooms while nature is eating it. Bone Crusher. Tick off your arrows.
Oh, where I am. Okay.
Be awesome.
So how
At the end of
high
this, you're like, and Zuggtmoy is on her dying breath before he does something awful.
He starts taking his claws and fire out of his bow.
Right.
Every archer's
So-
nightmare.
Crushers the cloud jump that lets you use long jump to calculate high jump. Okay, so Crusher is going to jump here.
Okay, that's a DC 55 jump.
No, I double my.
You,
I need to jump 25.
So it's a 25-foot jump then.
Yeah.
DC 25.
you double. No, so you're doing. I don't think you get to. You double your regular jumps, and your high jumps are just like a regular long jump.
Use a long jump to calculate high jump.
What does it say about long jump?
This is so jump on triple your jump distance. Use long jump to calculate high jump.
I think it's a normal long jump. I don't think you get to double it. Whatever, doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
Either way, doesn't matter. I think
right.
it's the long jump gets longer, and then you don't use that extra long jump for your high jump.
Okay. My long jump is
I think it's fine.
so 46. So I can get to 46 would be here's.
One back.
There's. How far is it? 10, 15. And. Ooh, I want to jump 5 feet over. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oops. There.
Okay.
Crusher is going to do a action.
You can. Okay.
That was a jump. That was an action. I have not used this before. So this thing is called Mountain Quake. So 20-foot radius. Just do a basic fort save.
You're like punching the wall and it's sending out a
Yeah,
wave.
and it's
Okay.
sending out a shockwave, and if they fail, they all go prone.
Nice.
And I can do damage of this.
What's the DC?
It's a basic force of failure. One can do it every. Just this basic fort save doesn't say what
Yeah.
the DC is.
Alright. We're about to have a bunch of.
Bang, bang, and you're hitting the mushrooms and shaking everything and these things.
Oscar gets deeper under the branch. Just.
Okay, so Crusher, it's like your character DC. Class DC is 42. So critical fail, critical fail, critical fail.
Okay, so they take strength. They go prone, and they take my strength mod. That's damage, and that would be
Times 2.
times 2, so 12 damage each.
You said basic.
Yeah. So
Okay,
12 damage.
so 105 is you send shockwaves up and down this this vertical forest of mushrooms.
Yeah, and I can do this
71 and
in another 2 rounds.
and then prone while climbing doesn't sound like a really good thing. So I'm going to give them reflex saves at the
I think
same
it did actually.
at the
You just made
same
them on wizards.
at the same DC to not fall in order left to right. DC 42 is fail, fail, and critical fail. And then the 2 just failures get a chance to catch themselves while falling. Acrobatics checks.
Whoops.
DC 30. Okay, so one of them falls all the way down to the ground. And the ground kind of looks like here, so we'll say it's a 50-50 chance it lands on Alcura. 2 is bad. 2. Give me a reflex save, Alcura, as this creature has fallen 70 feet into your square. The DC is 30.
Oh, we're going to have words. Why would you move them away from the mushrooms? Alright.
Whoops.
42?
Yeah,
There we go.
you hop out of the way and the thing falls. We need to look up falling damage, and then this one kind of fell a little bit, but it caught itself. And then the other one.
Can I get an AOL on one of these fuckers?
It's involuntary movement.
Okay.
Those were the saves.
I believe it is half the distance fell. But I remember that in my brain. I don't know what page that
Oh, fall?
Oh, I think this one fell all the way down too.
Yeah.
It's falling through your space, Crusher. We'll say 50-50. It actually falls into. 2 is it falls into you. It does not. You just sort of like grabbing hold of the rubbery thing, go off to the side, it goes crashing down to the ground.
I am gonna elbow jump off the side.
You're gonna give them the werebear people's elbow? Is that what?
Yep.
the where people's elbow.
Oh.
Look at that, Mark. A wrestling reference just for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Very good. Drowning, suffocated, most
Shouldn't there be falling?
Yeah, there's.
Falling. 460. When you fall more than half, you take bludgeoning damage equal to half the distance you fall and land prone.
They took 35 damage from falling.
Yep.
Plus the 12 from my.
Yeah, I got the 12, but the 35.
Tree falls longer than 100 or 1,500 feet as though they fell 750 damage. 750 damage is the cap of falling damage.
All right.
Ow.
Yeah, that's a lot of owl.
Screeching noise. They're trying to get back up, and Ptolemy's like, "What are you doing?"
I still have another action. Marty, I still have another
Since
action.
you jumped and then you slammed the side of the wall and you sent all the insects falling,
It's
are they
an
still
action
affected by your angry nature or not?
As long as they're close to plants still.
Okay. Yep.
So it's a 500-foot radius that they'd have to leave. There's a big.
That spell is awful in this place because this place is like
Just
even
one
the
big
air
fungal
has
nature.
is
Yeah.
So it was an action to do each.
Yeah, there's some checking at the beginning of the fight.
It was an action to do both of each of those. So I have one more action.
Okay.
I'd like to land on this guy.
So you're jumping down.
Inside
Now-
the mental domain, I don't believe you understand the concept of a defensive barrier.
Okay, so you're jumping down.
Now, question: if I use my monk's slow fall ability, does that reduce my distance and hence reduce the damage?
Yes.
just you have to land on it. You got to take this hit.
So if you fall,
Can I try to hit? Can I try to hit him?
So here, there's actually a rule. I'm
Nice.
looking right at it.
Nice.
Falling on a creature. If you land on a creature, that creature must attempt a DC 15 reflex save. Landing on a creature, exactly on a creature after a long fall, is almost impossible. Critical success, no damage. Success takes bludgeoning damage equal to one quarter
What
of your falling
DC?
damage. 15.
Huh.
What if it's prone?
The creature gets it, right?
It's the creature takes a thing.
Okay, so he scooters out of the way. And then Crusher takes 35 damage
35 damage.
and falls
The reason
prone.
why it's important is
I wasn't 35. I was 50.
Oh, 50,
I was
25
50,
damage. Okay.
if you threw somebody out of an airplane, you do 750 damage on them, DC 15 reflex save.
Yeah, don't roll a 1.
Yeah, Crusher kind of oh, and it just sort of one of the heads kind of looked up at you and it just skittered out of the way with its reflexes, and Crusher's now prone at the bottom, just making a mess of things. Ptolemy trying to cast the spell. Alcur. Or Alkira.
Is livid. All the things that were supposed to be happening. This one wasn't it.
This was not it.
Uh,
I thought they would catch themselves.
think in 3 dimensions, Bear.
Think differently in my mind.
We're going to. I think all the wall spells take 3 actions.
Yep.
Let's see if I can. Oh, did they get a chance to do a thing?
They're at the end of the round.
Oh god.
They're right after you.
Do something.
This was bad.
Yes. You did it. This is your fault.
Yes, I did.
Could just run up and punch one. Just
All right.
Much more fun this way.
All right. So
You're
we're
welcome.
I'd like to throw up a wall of ice. You can sculpt a barrier of ice that blocks sight and one shattered freezes foes. It is either 1 foot thick wall of ice in a straight line or a 1 foot thick hemisphere. The wall doesn't need to be vertical, it needs to be anchored on both sides. I would like to this is a problem. Crusher, I hate you so much. We're going to put up a wall of ice, and we're going to basically
surround
put
Crusher and things.
we're going to put... Alkira's going to get her ass handed to her this coming round. We're going to put it so that Ptolemy is on the other side, so it'll be between Ptolemy and the animal.
How long is it?
It is 60 feet long and 10 feet high.
Okay, so it's kind of going to the roof of this mushroom and then 60 feet out.
And alternately, I think I could probably go with that mushroom tree. If that mushroom tree has like a wall, like a hard surface underneath. I don't know.
It does.
Okay, then we'll shoot it basically up the mushroom tree.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know, this is fine. This is good. It's good. There's no concern.
Okay, along the ground, kind of anchored to the wall, and then anchored to the ground, and it kind of rises up, and it separates Shadow and Ptolemy from the creatures.
I'm about to get my ass handed to me, you son of a bitch.
The skittering goliath.
Hey!
So you actually land in a different combat square, so they are going to use an action to stand up.
I strike the first guy. I strike the guy next to me.
Yep.
Uh, 51.
51. Okay, you critical hit it. You basically punch it against the ice wall, and a bunch of its eyes explode. It has lots to spare, though. We're talking about the eyes along the back of the creature.
I don't think I have any protective reactions. Actually, I do have one. I've got one protective reaction.
6d. Oh, oops. 12 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2. Okay. He does 90 damage.
Okay, 230. It's still alive. Alright, let's do all of their single moves first. So this one is going to climb towards Krieger.
Reduce the moves. Actually, so DC 8 flat checks for both of them?
Oh, give me a second. Give me 30, and this one is going to pull out the arrow. And does so with a nat 20. Okay.
Minus 10 movement speed.
Minus 10 move speed.
Alright, and then the the 4 that have the animosity of nature need to make flat checks, right?
DC 8 flat checks.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Made it, failed, made it.
Okay, the one that failed needs to make a reflex save.
This is the one closest to Valkyrie.
Good, better go up and die.
Rolls a 33.
Okay, so it fails. It takes 6 damage from the bugs and things, and it's flat-footed because it did not make it. It did not make a critical success, so it's flat-footed for 1 round.
Alright. It has all-round vision, but it's still flat-footed because there are carpets of these weird mushroom things that are attacking it. And obscuring its view. Okay, so they've each taken 1 action. Looks like these two are going to skitter in with their second action. Two actions is skittering assault. They do a single stride, and they can attack. They can do 3 strides as a 2 action, and they attack once per stride. So 30. They're going to stop here. I think Krieger gets a reaction. Mark? You're muted.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
First one. Oh, I am.
It's all going according to plan. Marty's plan.
AC 48.
You critical hit the thing.
I didn't throw 2 non-circle spells to be surrounded by the monsters.
Which one are you taking the AOR?
There you go.
Well, whichever was first.
Okay.
Delivered you to them.
103 damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Krieger kills that one and keeps them from flanking him, and then it falls to the ground with a big splat.
I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking insect legs and weird things falling all over the place. Jumping to shit hit Ptolemy in the face while he's casting a spell and he's still going. They skittered in and now they're both attacking, one on Krieger and one on Darian.
Okay, Darian is going to use both his reactions. One to react against the one attacking him, and the last one to shield Krieger.
Okay, against Krieger, it's AC 32.
Misses. Okay, so there's no reaction then.
And then against Darian, AC 32.
Never mind. There's no reaction.
Alright, but their insanity continues. They continue moving. And they attack again as part of that movement.
They have 40-foot move speed?
30.
Yeah. No, that one has a 30.
They have 40-foot move speeds, 30-foot climbs.
Okay, so 20-foot and 30-foot because the green goo for it.
Oh.
Nature's enmity. Nature's mad at them. The funguses are grabby.
And this one came from the extreme side.
That one's
so
fine, so he's
he's skittering around. Okay, and then Krieger and Darian get attacked again.
There is a spell that makes your animal companion eat you. Like it's.
I know that spell from First Ed.
These are agile. Okay. Krieger, AC 36.
Misses.
Darian, AC 41.
Both misses as well. I'm double checking the 36 on Krieger, but I'm pretty sure it
It should miss you.
Okay.
Did you rage? Oh, you raged.
Krieger's just swinging at anything barbed or attacky that comes in with him and keeping them at bay. And then Darian's armor is protecting him from their attacks. Let's go down to the mushroom forest floor. Looks like there's a nice flank against Bone Crusher, which does not stack with prone, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, how you doing, buddies?
Let's do Crusher's attack from that one side. You know, I might as well stride,
I hate you
and
so
stride, and it's going to end up there. So it has 3 strides. First attack is on Bone Crusher, AC 32.
No.
Second attack is on Kira, AC Nat 1. Fucking lucky.
Exactly as planned.
And then last attack on Bone Crusher for 20. So it's all fucked around. Like, it's all being attacked by mushrooms, and it still knows that you guys are the real enemies. This one's kind of boxed in. So...
Make me a sweater?
Well, it can move like that. But it's flat-footed. Okay, so it's gonna stride, and then stride. Yeah, it's kind of like striking out. So first attack is let's see, it's really pissed off at Bone Crusher. and Bone Crusher is taking up 2 squares. It's all fucked up. So if I roll a 1, the first attack's Alkira, of course.
Roll a 0. Well, that doesn't happen. Roll a 1.
AC 33.
Nope.
Missed. Okay. So some of your protective armor
Exactly
spells.
as planned.
And then the other 2 attacks on Crusher. AC 37. AC Nat 1. Alright. And it's on their turns. They need to make saves against the spell. Is that?
They saved at the beginning.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Round 2. Oscar.
Well, I mean, I gotta do something. So just gonna step out and stab this thing a couple times, you know.
Save your character.
How long does that flat-footed last until its next turn?
To this next turn.
Okay. So Oscar, normally you can't sneak attack these things because they have all-around vision, but right now they've got a condition.
Yep. Now, if he wasn't flat-footed, I wouldn't be stabbing.
It's really fucked up. It's leaking all over the place, and it might have done a circle around Bone Crusher because like some of its legs aren't working properly.
It's leading to the left.
We've all seen.
Drunk people, yeah.
No, the movie where they're fighting the bugs.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, yes.
That's it, yeah.
AC 52?
Critical hit.
Critical hit.
Alright.
No poison.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
poison resistant 10.
64 plus. I think I've got more. It's been a while since I snuck attack something. Because I've kind of been really passive. Don't mind that.
Nope.
26.
It is a perfectly valid tactic. Wait until your companions have done all the work and then just steal the kill.
Yep, get the treasure. Be all like, look at I did it, I'm man. I'm assuming 5.
Minimizing your risk for maximal gain.
And then it's 6 plus.
It's all perception too.
Yeah. I like how you think. So.
The little imp in your head. It's not me. 79 damage. You kind of go like, that looks important. Stab. The thing dies.
All right. And then he goes back and hides in the mushroom.
Krieger.
Krieger.
Fuck, mushrooms are creepy. Look at that, like spores that look like webbing and.
Yeah. That's imagine breathing that in.
Gonna step there and attack twice.
My father-in-law with a fungal infection, having respiratory problems.
Shadow's looking at you like, no, not that one. Shit, not that one.
That's a good point.
It's trying to move away from you and it can't because it's
Krieger, not that one. Fuck.
You will draw it.
So the order of operations on them skittering away is at the end of your move they skitter, or like if you have enough movement.
the trigger is a move.
Okay. Krieger moves to there and readies an action to attack when they come after him.
Trigger: a creature that starts its move outside the Gogga's reach moves into reach.
That sounds like a reaction, yeah.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
And its reach is 10.
Yeah.
Which means that the first one couldn't skitter away because you started within reach, but the other one can.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you move up to this one, and it takes its reaction, and it skitters 10.
And he has a raid action.
And he's got a ready action.
Like one of the heads, it kind of turns around and looks at you, it screams at you, and it looks like it's trying to go down for some reason, because, aberrations. Darian.
Darian, you know what? I'm going to do something a little out of the box.
How out of the box we talking?
I'm going to try and use the skill power on these guys.
Intimidate the demon thing?
Yes, I am.
Booga, booga, booga.
Pretty
Not
much.
the one above the caster, please.
Pretty much.
These guys just don't learn.
So the one that's not
These guys just don't learn. Really. They don't learn. Do this.
skittering Goliath number 1. Now, I have intimidating glare. Normally, there's a -4 to my intimidate check if they don't understand the language. But with intimidating glare, I don't need to speak.
Okay, you're like, "Rrr,"
Angry
and
drill sergeant.
it's smart enough to understand languages, I guess. It doesn't understand your language, though.
So what I'm asking is, with intimidating glare, am I still taking the -4?
I think with something maybe with 2 eyes, nose, and a mouth, it would work.
So, what is the penalty for? Is if you can't speak to it?
If it, let me.
Depends what
If
your
it
second power
can't hear
means.
you or doesn't understand the language you are speaking.
You're speaking in common?
Yes,
Yeah, it doesn't understand you.
but I'm not. But with intimidating glare, I don't need to speak.
Okay, well then it understands anger.
Okay, so I don't take the penalty then.
Correct.
All right. I rolled a shitty roll. Okay. I'm assuming.
The will DC on this thing is 30.
Okay, well, it's intimidated. I'm gonna try again because it's one action.
And you succeeded? Some of these have, like, if you fail, you can't try again.
No, I succeeded.
It's frightened
Right.
1? Is that?
Yeah, but I didn't critically succeed.
Got it.
Right, you're. I'm just going to take a quick peek. You're using intimidation, right?
Fucking paladin pointing his blade at somebody.
Oh,
You!
okay. It becomes frightened 2.
Right now it's frightened 2?
Right now it's frightened 2.
You demoralized it? You have something. You have something that bumps it up, right? Because a critical success is frightened 2.
No. With scared to death, a success becomes frightened 2.
Cool.
With a critical success, it needs to make a fortitude save against my intimidate DC or die.
Yeah, it's the.
You look at the thing and it dies!
If it critically fails.
Okay,
If it
alright.
critically fails.
Alright, so its will DC is eroded by this, so its will DC is now 38.
So, normal demoralized has a 10-minute cooldown. So it just regardless of your success rate, you got.
Then
10
I will
minutes
do the
before
other
you can do it
one.
again.
Okay, and you wheel around like you.
And you 48.
Okay, that is its DC will DC is 30.
So it's critical, so now it has to make a fortitude save.
Double critical.
And the fortitude save is against your class DC? Like your
Against your intimidation DC.
So
so 10 plus
10
your intimidate.
Intimidate mod.
All right, so 41.
It gets a 41 right on. However, it takes a minus because it was frightened 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, the other one was frightened 2.
Oh, I see.
The other
Because
one-
this
the other
okay.
one was frightened.
So this one isn't scared to death.
It's
but
frightened
Well,
2.
it's still fleeing for 1 round.
Yeah.
And it's frightened 2.
Okay, it's flee for 1 round and frightened 2. Okay, so there's some scared as poop. Gogata. And you just do this at whim.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a standard action. Like,
It's one action. Which is why I'm thinking a Blackguard Darien would be awful to see. Just walking through villages. Meh, meh. People talking.
Oh, what a solo party that would be. Shadow.
Hang on, I got one action left.
Okay.
Scare Crusher, he deserves
Alright, move there. No, sorry. Move there. And I guess at that point it can move.
It already took its skitter.
Okay, then he's gonna get right up to it.
Okay, Bone Crusher.
Let's end this bastard. Whoa, wait. Wait, this thing is stuck, right? I'm gonna move towards it.
You have to stand up. Or do you have
Oh
kip
yeah. No, wait. I don't think I have keep up.